Get right, gang. What it do? What it is? Hey, man. I'm coming at y'all with another video, man. You thought I wasn't gonna hit y'all with two up? You know what I'm saying? I caught you slipping, dog. Caught you slipping, man. Here we go. Here we go. We got top 10 happiest cities in America for 2020, man. We're gonna see what this talking about. See what it's talking about.
Everyone wants to be happy, right?
Let's get it.
Well, most of us do. Though, based on how people are acting in this nation, you'd think people feed off of negativity or self-hate to a certain degree. But can we define happiness? We can try. The internet defines happiness as a state of well-being or contentment.
Oh.
Okay, that's boring. Here's another definition that uses words such as feeling meaningful, worthwhile, and a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. The thing is, happiness is different for everyone, though. Some people might never find happiness, and some people are never unhappy, especially a lot of the people in the cities we're going to talk about. I'm going to use some internet research to try to determine which cities in the U.S. are happy. We'll be using data that assumes people are happy based on things people say make them happy, and the numbers take into account polling, too. So, put on a smile. We're going to get all touchy-feely with it and visit America's happiest places in 2020. They are happy. These people are so happy because they love where they live.
Okay.
Have a quick insight. Back in February of 2020, when everything was going fine with the economy and jobs and our health, polling indicated 90% of Americans were satisfied with their life and indeed happy. That was the all-time high going back to 2003. Then, post-health crisis, they polled people again in June of 2020. And this time, only 14% of people said they were very happy. So you can see how fragile our happiness is in this nation, sadly. That said, let's begin our happy tour in Denver. Is Denver really happy?
I want to
Apparently
go there,
although
man.
the more you read comments and videos I've done in the past, all you see is Denver people complaining about how Denver isn't the same anymore. There's too many people, it's too liberal, etc. Maybe they should chill. I mean, look at this place. Denver gets just about more sunshine than any other
Look
place.
at that. Just look at that. That's crazy.
And look how beautiful it is.
Tell
Come on,
me.
haters. There's room for everyone.
Tell him.
Anyways, the data indicates Denverites are all smiles about
It's
it.
legal.
They're regularly called the nation's healthiest city. Not that fat people aren't happy, but in terms of other metrics, Denver ranks as the best city to be a homeowner in, one of the best places to live in. It's 7th best for foodies, 5th best for dogs, and 2nd best for beer.
No
Great
way.
food, awesome beer, and dogs everywhere. What else do you need to be happy? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing. Nothing at all. Quit hitting me with the
Now, we regularly diss California as being a place filled with people who are overworked, overtaxed, overcrowded, and overcrimed. But there's so many great places to live here, and thusly, tons of happy
Cali.
people. One of 2 cities from California to make this list
San
is San
Diego.
Diego. This, too, is a beautiful city. In fact, it's been ranked as our most beautiful city with an amazing view of the ocean, tons of sunshine, and a very vibrant, clean, and safe downtown.
Yeah.
Health-wise, San Diego's up there with Denver, too. America's finest city ranks 8th in the country for
It's number
well-being.
9.
Jobs-wise, San Diego is doing just fine, but its income metric is complicated. San Diego is the nation's 22nd richest when you measure income levels, but it's also the nation's 7th most expensive, too. Interesting. The state of Utah regularly ranks as one of the best places to live in the nation, and Provo.
I know it's cold out
The state of
there.
Utah
Look at
regularly
that.
ranks as one of the best places to live in the nation, and Provo is supposedly the happiest place to live here.
Wow. That's
Home to BYU, it's also
crazy.
82%
Look how it
German
looks. I
here.
don't like the
A
cold.
big part of
though.
this ranking is Provo's social index score, meaning Provoians have supportive relationships and a lot of love in their life. Aw. Are Mormons happy? Well, studies have shown religious people are the happiest, although that goes against what I'll discuss next. But the more you Google, eventually you'll find an answer. 2 studies showed that Mormons are happier than other religions. One of them said Mormons live far longer than other religions. Okay, so before we get too far, let's quickly go over who's sad in these other religions. Okay, so before we get too far, let's quickly go over who's sad in this country. Sadly, it's primarily poor places with bad weather, Places like Detroit, cities in West Virginia, and in Ohio, and in Mississippi. Biloxi, Mississippi, a very poor place with high crime, ranks as our unhappiest city. But outside of Detroit, these places are highly religious, so perhaps religion isn't as much a determining factor in happiness as the polling suggests. Off we go to my home state of North Carolina. I'm pretty happy. Can't you tell? But where I live wasn't mentioned in any of the digging I did. Nearby Asheville, a mountain town on the western fringes of the state, did. Again, really pretty weather, lots of sunshine, awesome scenery, and a ton of beer. Asheville's the third best place in the nation for beer. Who wouldn't be happy with sunshine and beer all day? Looking at this, I think I want to go back to Asheville again, like right now. But here's an odd one. Lancaster, PA. Lancaster? Pennsylvania doesn't come to mind when I think of happiness. Everywhere else we've talked about so far was the opposite of Lancaster. Why are Lancastronians so happy? They have a strong sense of community and score really high on social rankings. That's why. And they asked Lancaster people why they claim to be so happy. I think we're really happy, said one Lancaster guy. I think that goes back to our roots of being primarily farmers and working class people. However, he went on to say they aren't the healthiest. We love our sugar, he said. Other factors that make this farming community rank so high: low unemployment rates, short commute times, and long lives. They don't need a lot of money here because they have each other and the land.
That's like a farm.
Like the Smurfs out here in Lancaster County. And the Smurfs were always happy, right?
Right.
Except when Gargamel killed their buzz. There's two Florida cities on this
Okay.
list. A state of
Look at
sunshine,
Florida, man.
beaches, and crazy people and old people. Let's face it, Cape Coral is filled with wealthy, old, white people. A lot of people golf. A lot of people drive their boats around, or they lay in the sun. All the data indicates there's a great sense of community here, but you can just look at this place and pretty much assume Cape Coral people simply have to be happy. If they're not, then, well, they need to count their blessings more often. We'll be back to Florida again before this video is over.
Okay.
Our final trip to the Midwest takes us to our fourth happiest place,
Ann Arbor,
Michigan, home to the University of Michigan. This cozy little nook in a somewhat checkerboard state is charming, where people earn good salaries, are pretty healthy overall. But 2/3 of the population here is between the ages of 20 and 40. That's because it's a college town. So are millennials happy, though?
Makes sense.
I mean, we keep hearing about how millennials are unhappy with their futures and their Instagram accounts, and they're always blaming boomers for their crummy jobs. One study said millennials do want success, but they don't link happiness with pursuing money. Instead, their success is more connected to feeling content with love and family. Okay, that's lame. Millennials will say anything to get attention and look smart, whatever. They want money just like everyone else. That's dumb. Back to Colorado we go, and to the always enviable community of Boulder. And we already talked about how the weather and scenery here is symptoms of glee, and Boulderites are even healthier than their peers across the state in Denver. National Geographic, Boulderites are even healthier than their peers across the state in Denver. National Geographic called Boulder the happiest place in the nation one time, and I quote, bolstered by a sense of community, access to nature, sustainable urban development, and preservation of policies, and perhaps even the clean mountain air, Boulderites overwhelmingly feel active and productive every day, the article opines. Boulder's bike-friendly streets also contributed to this ranking. That makes sense. I hardly ever see anybody on a bike that doesn't have a smile on their face. Which city in the U.S. isn't the happiest? Santa Rosa, California isn't. Santa Rosa? That's kind of random. I lived in California forever, and I only drove through this place like twice. It's really pretty. It's sort of in the middle of California's famous Napa Valley. Nearby are wineries and rolling hills, and again, plenty of sunshine, and the ocean's a short drive away. I think we're seeing a theme here: sun, alcohol, water, and wealth.
Cali and Colorado.
Speaking of sun, alcohol, water, and wealth, our happiest city in the nation is Naples, Florida. The old people? Of all the metrics measured, Naples scored off the charts. It wasn't even close. The only measurement Naples didn't score in the top 2 in was physical well-being, but Naples was 13th there. It was a clean.
It's old people there.
Naples has a lot going on. There's community events all over the place. There's sports leagues, and it has a good art scene and fancy restaurants.
I bet they get.
And of course, miles of hot, crowded beaches with hardly any parking. But hey, maybe that's why the older folks here are so healthy. from lugging their crap around all day. And of course, Naples is a retirement community where wealthy older people move to or
That's
have
why.
second homes in.
That's why.
Studies have shown that money does buy happiness, but only to a certain amount. Like up to 75K makes you happy. But
wouldn't
anything
give a
more
damn.
than that, and your happiness levels wane. I disagree. This would make me very, very happy. So that was our look at our nation's happiest places to live, and a quick glance at our not happy places. Notice that none of the happy places are in big inner cities. You'll see that they are not in places with riots or graffiti or anger from entitled youths. None of these have high crime rates where thugs are free to roam without repercussion. What defines happiness? Money?
Damn.
Success?
So what they do when they come out there?
Repercussion. What defines happiness? Money?
That's crazy.
Success? Feeling satisfied with work or believing you're doing meaningful things? That's a lot of it. But based on what we saw, happiness comes from living in a place with community pride and connection, people. You gotta love your neighbors and be involved in your community, or you may not be happy. They are happy.
And that's gonna cap off the video, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you are new. And I'm out, bro.